Good afternoon. With a quorum being present, the meeting will come to order at this time. I would like to ask everyone to please stand and face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will Mrs. Mayo please call the roll?
Absolutely. Ryan Raffles? Present. You say it so we get it on the recording. Just say present.
Present.
Eddie Simchek?
Here.
Katie Toperzer has requested an excused absence. Marley Hook just walked in. Taylor Eason?
Present.
Skylar Carstairs? Is this Skylar? This is Marley. Okay. Is not present. Anthony Scaramuzzi?
Present.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any modifications or additions to the agenda? I actually have one. I wanted to bring forth that there was by the river, a faded logo engraved in the pavement by the river. So can I move to get to bring that to the table?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You can call for a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So it's added.
Okay. Mrs. Mayo would next be public input.
You will call for anyone from the audience that has public input to give, and the time for public input is 5 minutes.
Okay. Any public input from the audience?
Good afternoon. My name is Cindy Alves, and this is Bo Barrington, and we represent the Substance Awareness Center of Indian River County. Our coalition, which is called SAFER, and it's an acronym that stands for Substance Abuse Free Indian River County, is a coalition of business members, community members, parents, youth, and involved citizens to make Indian River County safer, healthier, and a better place to live for our students. So we focus around youth, and we are just gearing up in Vero Beach right now. We've connected with the middle schools. We've also connected with Sebastian Middle School, the charter middle schools, and a couple of the high schools to promote one of our events, which is called Friday Night Done Right. Friday Night Done Right is an intervention to talk about a safer way to tailgate as opposed to using illegal drugs and underage drinking. So we are here to kind of talk about what we do very briefly, invite you to take an interest. We are looking for youth involvement and youth participation, and I'm going to defer to my friend Bo, and he's going to finish up with our presentation.
Thank you. So one of the things that we want to do is, as being a county coalition, one of the things that we want to do is we just want to go around in here and really facilitate and lift up the dreams of young people. So in our high schools and our middle schools, what we really want to do is be a coalition that comes together to help kind of facilitate those ideas, those dreams, those desires that you may want to see for the next 6 years, the next 4 years, the next year, depending on where you are and how many more years you have around in this community. And so that's one of the reasons why we go, and we just really want to begin the conversation here in Sebastian, as well as we've got it going on in Vero, as well as Fellsmere. And we really just want to kind of lock arms with a youth movement that really wants to do good and kind of see a goodness epidemic spring forth throughout Indian River County. So that's another reason why our coalition exists. Thank you.
Briefly, I've been a resident for 22 years in Sebastian. I raised 4 children who came up through the school systems, and I have 4 active adults in their communities now, and we'd like to help you and your peers be active, healthy, and happy. So if there's any way that we can help you, we would love to hear from you as well. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your next item is to approve the minutes, so you're going to ask for a motion and a second to approve the minutes.
Okay. Can we get a motion to approve the minutes? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. I believe we have a short video from the Malabar Youth Council to show what other youth councils are doing.
The little town of Malabar has been on the map since 1962. We enjoy a rural residential lifestyle, free from crime or poverty. As idyllic as Malabar may seem, there is a downside to living here. In most small towns, everybody knows everything about everybody. But in Malabar,
we're more familiar with our neighbor's mailbox than his face.
I don't know anybody in Malabar.
So I've met a few families in Malabar, but for the most part, all I know is like a couple of them.
Most youth are not aware of the teen council, so only a few participate.
We have a big park, basketball courts, tennis courts, almost no activity.
I feel disconnected. What makes this a problem? What causes it?
Well, we have big properties. Look at this. It's land.
Vast majority of people here own an acre and a half or above.
And we have gates and no trespassing signs, which makes me wonder if they're going to shoot me. We have a desire for privacy, which is a good thing, but also a reason we're disconnected. There's also technology. We're more connected with the outside world than our own hometown. That's just not right.
The problem with Malibu is our community is not connected. This affects the youth of our town and our future quality of life. How does a connected community benefit our town?
To connect would make the neighbors know what the rest of the community is thinking.
Relationships.
People need each other.
Exactly. Then there's establishing common goals.
And community service, helping hands for the needy.
Building a better future for our town.
We want to maintain our rural residential lifestyle while creating greater bonds within our community, especially between youth and other families. What can be done to attain our goal?
We should build friendships and meet neighbors.
What we need is some organization to activities to bring these people together. Because if you bring the kids together, guess what? The parents have to show up too. And it works. And they work and talk together, so we don't have that.
We will form a teen committee to organize social activities in Malabar, including events at our local recreation areas and neighborhood service opportunities.
We'd like to encourage more cultural activities because that's a learning experience.
We'll post a calendar of these events on our town website.
We'll use the technology to our advantage.
We will promote coming events through the town newsletter, social media, and word of mouth.
It's a draw to get the people to communicate, and then once they do, they find friends and they start associating.
Finally, we'll recruit more teens to participate in both the Teen Council and the Activities Committee. This This will ensure longevity for these teams and their charters.
The result will be to transform our town from disconnected to connected.
Okay. Is there any discussion, any? Okay. Let's see, next we have a presentation by my vice chair, Mr. Anthony Scaramuzzi.
I'm here to talk about, I am going to be driving start learning how to drive in a couple months, and I feel that there are some safety issues around town. Thank you. One of the first safety issues is on US 1, just before US 1 on 510. When you're turning out of Sandy's, there's first a faded stop sign, and if you're going straight, you have to Louisiana. You have to go the opposite way in traffic and then make an illegal turn. I feel that there should be more signs in that area. On Barber Street, there's the big football field, the baseball park, all that. And I feel that there should be a sign on Barber Street that says, "Caution, there's children at play." If you are on US 1 heading north and you're turning into Publix, there's a big tree that blocks your view of oncoming traffic. This is 70th Avenue, and if you are we are stopped right at the stop sign, and you cannot see if there's cars coming. And this is if you're on 512 and Roseland, and you are making a right. If somebody's riding a bike, you wouldn't be able to see them coming. Thank you for letting me address some safety issues. And if you have any more safety issues or ideas, talk to the city manager. Thank you.
Okay, is there something we would like to do to move this forward? Yes, Marley?
Maybe we could, about that tree, maybe we could get somewhere to cut it down or relocate it. And maybe at the flashing lights, it probably doesn't cost that much to get those little blinker lights that people put on those other signs. What are those signs called? You know those school lights that people put on those? Maybe we could get some of those on that Children at Play sign. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Could we maybe get a motion to bring this to the council, or all in favor?
Let me intervene real quick. When you ask for a motion, you need to get one person to make the motion, to say, "I move to," and then another person seconds, and then you call the roll, okay? Did you get a motion and a second on that? You did. And I missed it, I'm sorry. So who made the motion? Marley? Okay, and who made the second?
Me.
Also,
Thank you.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now you call the roll.
Okay. Now, call the roll.
Would you like a roll call for that?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Taylor Eason,
Yes.
Ryan Raffles,
Yes.
Anthony Scaramuzzi,
Yes.
Eddie Semchek,
Yes.
Marley Hook.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have suggestions by Vice Mayor Adams. Is he? Okay.
You can just go ahead and discuss those items if you'd like to.
Okay. He wished to discuss developing a newsletter for schools outlining simple steps to prevent further harm to the Indian River Lagoon.
Maybe we could put this in the school newspapers, like maybe, I'm not quite sure how to say it, but schools who do newspapers, we could put it in the newspapers. When they're distributed, people will know.
Anybody else?
I feel that if someone would put like a picture of an animal, like with like those soda wrapping things around its neck or something like that on the front page of the newspaper, that would draw people's attention.
I'm the editor of the Sebastian Charter Junior High newspaper, and we already have discussed putting something about the lagoon on the front page.
Okay. So, seems we have it taken care of at the charter. Would we like to make a suggestion to the other schools, or?
Maybe we could put it at a few of the high schools, like the Charter High School in Vero.
Okay. Well, I move that we make suggestions to, or maybe send a nice letter to some of these schools and suggest that we put this in. I don't know if Sebastian High has a newspaper. I don't believe they do, but they send out a periodical letter in the mail. So do we wish to make a suggestion? Can I get a second?
I second that.
I second that.
Okay. And the next thing he wanted to do was research activities at the community center, such as a movie night, half-court basketball, table tennis tournaments, perhaps for community service. I don't know exactly what he wanted to do, so does anybody have any ideas based off of what I said?
I think we should host a big like get together of all the teams in the area and have a giant tournament.
Okay.
Maybe we could have like, you know how they do fairs in the Sebastian Park? Maybe we could do something like that for the teens, and then bring like art stuff for the arts people, like canvases or giant pieces of paper, or paints and stuff like that. And for the sports people, we could have like maybe a volleyball tournament and soccer, something like that. And then just bring all the people who, the different kinds of things that they like to do and bring them together into one big festival or something.
Okay. Are there any motions someone would like to make? Or do we want to discuss this more later?
I feel like we definitely should have something to get the community out and get it together.
Is there something that you would want to request, that you have an event in Riverview Park? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
I think that would be a good idea.
Mr. Griffin? What would they do if they wanted to do that?
To have a function in Riverview Park.
Like a youth event is what they're asking?
They could take their request to Chris McCarthy, and I assume there'll be no alcohol, so it won't have to go to council. And what we'll do is we'll review that once it gets to Mr. McCarthy, and then we'll get back to you as to what the parameters would be. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
So, I mean, there is an application form with a description of what you want to do. So get hold of that. Or I'll get that from Mr. McCarthy, and I'll get that to y'all and fill that out and get it back to us, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Staff matters. We have an announcement by the manager or the clerk.
The first one is just that our AV staff was able to connect to AT&T UVerse. For those of you who don't have Comcast, you can watch these meetings on anything on channel 20. We say channel 25. COS TV is what we call it. All of our meetings are broadcast live, and everything that's on that channel is broadcast 24 hours a day. There's slides with notices, and we just recently went to channel 99 on ATT UVerse for any of you that have that. Okay? We just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
Do you want me to mention the next one, Mr. Griffin? Okay. This was also provided by Mr. Adams, and he has flyers in front of each of you. It's a volunteer opportunity for, it looks like about 150 middle and high school students to participate in a national golf course championship, I guess. And all the information is there. We have extra ones on the back table, and if you'd like to take some to your schools to leave at your office for other people that might be interested, he just wanted you to have those, okay?
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Do any members have any matters to bring forward? Okay. And we need to set the next meeting date. The suggestion is for November 18th at 3 p.m., which is the next city council meeting.
Not the next, but that's the November.
Oh, okay.
You meet every quarter, so that's 3 months from now, and that is the November meeting for the council.
Okay. Is that okay? Can I get a aye if you?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and am I next?
Before
The thing I had brought.
We really didn't decide where that was going, so yeah, it's time for you to give your presentation.
Okay. Okay, well, I do not have much of a presentation per se, but I was down, as I mentioned before, I was down at the river the other day, and right by the boardwalks near the southernmost side of the Riverview Park area, there is a logo that is on the ground right in front of the river, and as you can see, it is quite faded and kind of needs to be redone if the city is interested in doing that. So that's all I really had to say.
So would that be a city matter, or can we get some people to go down and do that, repaint the sign?
I would think it would have to be brought to the city first, and then.
Okay, I think we should forward it to the city.
Okay.
If I could interrupt for just a second, I have previously given instructions within the last week for that to be removed, and I think they're going to, because it's in such disrepair, and it would be hard to really repair it. We're going to sandblast it. That was the last word I had, and then perhaps start over. But right now, we're just going to clean that up, and then we'll go from there as far as if we're going to reinstall a logo or what we're going to do. So, but for now, that's going to disappear, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
I feel that if it does disappear, there should be something there that goes back in its place.
The issue is that it's not inexpensive to put that down there, and that's been there a couple years, and it's obviously worn out, and that's unfortunate. But the condition of it is such that it needs to be taken off. It's really a little bit of an embarrassment the way it is now, and to try to repair it, it wouldn't bring it back to an acceptable standard. So I felt like we have to start over with a clean slate, and let's see what we have after we clean things up a bit, and then we'll go from there and we can get some estimates.
Okay. So I believe that is it for this meeting. I move to adjourn. Can I get a second?
I second that.
I adjourn.
Okay. Then I believe that concludes our meeting.